Hey, Sagittarius. Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here. Excited to bring to you your January 2025 career and money reading. Welcome back if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, bottom of the deck, you have Windfall. Oh, you've gone through something, Sag. In the past position, you have the Skull. This is bare bones. You have gone through something here, a rough patch, maybe borrowing money. Some of you were very low on cash. Okay, I feel very low on cash, or you just went through a period of reinvention. A lot of you were re-emerging from some sort of destruction or something that, had been very maybe difficult for you to go through. Yeah, Seven of Swords, maybe even some sort of denial, like waking yourself up, coming out of a situation. For others of you, you may have been dealing with an individual who was sneaky, who was, trying to take advantage or get away with something here. I actually feel like you are moving into a favorable position, but you may be keeping something to yourself. You may not be sharing your ideas or sharing your moves with everyone at this time. It feels like you're waiting for the right time. And I see that it could be now. It could be something that you are preparing to do in 2025. Perhaps you're leaving a job. Maybe you're putting an end to it. Maybe you are retiring, or you are receiving a new offer, but you're keeping it on the lowdown. I see that you've reinvented yourself and you've come back. You've come back stronger than ever before, or you're about to make a comeback. And something I always say is the comeback is stronger than the setback. Now, you have silence showing up as your main energy here. And it says, moving in silence while you continue to build. Silence is the best way to increase your personal power. So your outcome is also silence as well, intermingled with the sun. So this tells me that you are getting ready to launch something. You're ready to come out of this hibernation period or this silence period, but you are being mindful of who you trust. Sharing too much too soon. Not everyone is honest and trustworthy. You may have learned that lesson the hard way. You may have said something to someone and they used it to their advantage. It may have turned out that way in the past, but I actually feel like the comeback here is huge. Your future energy is treasure. You have worry-free finances, money in reserve, and excess. You could be an executive. Perhaps this is sales, the sales of a property, sales of a business. This is about hidden talent. So I'm getting double hidden energy, like something is being kept on the lowdown, but you are actually on the receiving end of it. You are that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So there's something on the other side that you are either, working through at this time, whether you see it or not yet. I definitely feel like you're going to be in a very good position. You could be planning. Yeah, you could be planning something out here. Like, how do I leave? How do I, grow? How do I build? How do I finally exit out of something that's been a little bit difficult? Because bottom of the deck, we see a windfall. You're about to receive a windfall of money or a pay raise. Money is currently in a positive cycle. This is a great time to treat yourself or make that big purchase. This is at the bottom of the deck, so you're not quite there. But when you are, this is going to be big. This is some big news that comes to you, that you receive. Whether it is a windfall of money, Sagittarius, whether you're building something up so you can take all this money and retire. Maybe you're buying a home. Okay, I feel like you've gone through something though. Maybe an inheritance. There could be some sort of inheritance money coming in with a skull. But this is the past position here. So if you've been in a rough patch, or 2024 was a very difficult year for you, 2025 is going to be like night and day difference is what I'm getting. Yeah, Three of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. This is an emotional storm. That's what you've gone through here. Freedom from strife. Freedom from strife. That's what I see coming in here. So let's dive in. We have the chimpanzee. This is your overall energy, the Two of Pentacles. Staying present, staying mindful, staying aware of the energies around you, and staying aware of your own vibrational frequency, because that is what you are attracting. Because you are coming into alignment more and more with what it is that you truly want. This is a coming together, and it's about balance as well as going with the flow and having fun with your work, having fun with what you are creating. And sometimes it can be such a boring, uninspired, non-fulfilling energy that sometimes we get stuck in that routine. And I feel like that's what has happened here in the past. And this is about you taking a look at your pros and cons, right? The pros of a situation, the cons, wanting to stay calm in the midst of some sort of financial changes that could be going on here for you, going on in the world. This is about multitasking. And I feel like you are, you're keeping a rein on your finances, but I also feel like you are maybe treating yourself, like it says with the treasure, or you're saving, or you're implementing some new plans. I get the feeling some of you may be spending a little bit of money to make some money. All right, so maybe purchasing a program that is quite spendy, but it's going to enhance your education and it's going to help you long term. Perhaps this is investing in some property, but you're going to flip it and you're going to double your profit. I feel like you are finding ways to balance out your finances, but I do see that it may require you putting a little bit of money or effort or time into it in order to bring about some sort of balance. It's important that you have fun. I feel like there's been a seriousness to this energy, like a silence, like perhaps you've been really going within, you've been building, you've been doing all the work, but maybe it's time to get out there, put on your dancing shoes and, come up with some beautiful new ideas, or to reach out to a community of like-minded individuals. I feel like this is saying, don't be afraid to go the other way, or to go in a new direction here, coming out of that silence energy. And still being mindful of who you're sharing your stuff with, but having fun, letting your hair down. That's kind of what I get for you this month. Having fun with your creative projects and your work, because something has been too stressful or there's been too much tension. What's crossing your path is the Judgment. The Judgment is rising up. It is rising up to your destiny. It's the call. And for some of you, perhaps you were too hard on yourself, Sagittarius. Perhaps you were unable to let things go of the past. That's been difficult for you, challenging for you. This is a massive awakening. And I feel like there's also mercy. There's mercy on you in some way, because you have done good deeds. You have kind of kept to yourself in some way. You haven't been causing anyone else's life harm or jeopardy. I feel like you've just been trying to do your own thing, mind your own P's and Q's, and basically live a life that's more rich and abundant emotionally and spiritually, as well as physically and financially. So this is the Judgment coming in. And when this comes in, it comes in with a splash, right? This is a big judgment call. And it feels like there's a cold splash of water coming in that wakes you up, right? Wakes you up in order for you to see that there are sunnier days ahead, that you don't have to go back. You don't have to go back to this rough patch. You've learned some valuable lessons while you were there, but it doesn't have to be where you stay. And that's why the Judgment comes in, Sagittarius, saying, are you aware? Are you self-aware of your thoughts, of the words that you tell yourself, of the opportunities that are showing up right in front of you, of your own skills and your talents? Are you aware of how far you've come on your journey? You should be proud of yourself. Pat yourself on the back, not judging yourself for what you do not have, right? Or feeling like you should be further on your journey than you are. Let that fear mindset or scarcity mindset go. Let it go and work through those fears, the false evidence appearing real, and allow yourself that redemption, because you are being reborn in a very big way. And I feel like this is the year for you to really tap in to this windfall energy. Whether that is, again, some sort of windfall that's owed to you. Maybe this is a legal situation. Perhaps this is the buying out of a business or real estate, or, just, I feel like this is something beautiful. This is something beautiful with the windfall. Whatever comes to your mind when you hear the words windfall, that is what you are bringing up in 2025. Now, what's below you? The stag, the Hierophant. This is about big business. So some of you may be looking at, business and structures and values and routines, and you may be looking at how you've done things, the way that you've done things that you've been continuing to do over and over, because our values and our beliefs get locked down into our subconscious until we're consciously aware that something is no longer working, and then we have to do a little bit of a deep dive. That's what you did. You did a little bit of that deep dive, Sagittarius, and you're like, wait a second, why am I defaulting back on some sort of loss, on some sort of rough patch at that time where I felt like I was out of work, or maybe you were defaulting back into something that you had silenced, a gift within you. Maybe you're healing gifts, because I see that a lot of you are healers, Sagittarius. You have the hospice energy. Some of you could be thinking about becoming a doula, becoming a midwife, or something about working with maybe babies or newborns, or maybe even the elderly, the cycles of life. And I feel like spirituality is blending in with your everyday life. And that is also a big part of the North and the South node shifting on January 28th out of Aries and Libra and moving into Pisces and Virgo. Pisces is a very intuitive, spiritual energy. And when we blend that into our everyday lives, that Virgo energy, we can ground that, and we can, come up with new beliefs that align us on our path, not ones that we defaulted back onto because that's what we learned. That's what you have taken from the past. So in the recent past, you have the Seven of Swords, some sort of weaseling. Someone was trying to weasel their way out of or into a situation. This could even be someone wearing a mask. I don't feel like it's you, because this guy is not wearing much of nothing. He's bare bones, right? So you may have been stripped. You may have been stripped of a mask or some sort of role, or it could be someone around you was stripped of like a title, or stripped of their pride even. Someone has been humbled. That's what it comes down to. Someone has been humbled. Now it says the devil is in the details, secrecy and masks. For those of you that have any Taurus in your chart, you may want to check out that reading, because that was the title. The devil is in the details. So I feel like there has been secrecy. There has been maybe even a bit of denial, because at times we get into that self-preservation mode, right? I got to survive. I got to work in this job to put food on the table, to pay the bills. I don't love it, but this is what I need to do to survive here on earth. And one day I'm going to get ahead. One day I'm not going to be in this fight or flight mode. And so if that was you, Sagittarius, I just feel like you are blossoming up out of that. You're closing that chapter of your life, whether this was a survival mode or it was some sort of secrecy or hidden agenda that you were dealing with. That's in the past. You can close the door to that chapter, because you have been building in silence. I feel like silence is the best way, like it says, to increase your personal power. This means if you have ideas, don't share them with everyone, because then what happens is they start telling you. their opinions. They start telling you what they think, why it's a good idea, why it's not a great idea, what you need to do to get there, their take on it or what they did. You have an information overload, attacking you, coming in from all angles. And I just feel like right now you are creating something that's special, that is sacred, because not everybody knows about it. And when the time is right, you're going to launch. And that's what I see. So some of you, this is a big move, maybe quite literally a move. Maybe you are resigning, maybe you're retiring, maybe you're going off and building your own business, or you got the yes for a new job opportunity. Whatever you've been building in silence here, it's actually leading to some treasure, some beautiful treasure. Now, what's above you is, well, there's the treasure, the King of Pentacles, the rhinoceros. This is power, it's wealth. Sometimes this is ruthless as well. And I feel when this comes to your energy, there's a renewed sense of determination where some people may think that you're ruthless, okay? Because maybe that's part of the survival tactics that you've worked on to try to get to where you're at. But I feel like you are determined, would be the word that I'm getting here. Determined to build upon your wealth, even if that means setting boundaries and cutting people off. And they may say, wow, look at Sagittarius, they're cutting me off. That's not cool, but you're doing it for you. I feel like there's something about you standing in your power and helping people who, I don't want to say deserve it, but it doesn't feel like it's a dominant or a control power play, maybe whatever in the past was. But if this is your energy fully embracing this King of Pentacles, this is about you taking action when it comes to your finances and doing what you need to do to build a more, beneficial, wealthy life for yourself. Because who sits at the table of the 10 of Pentacles? The King of Pentacles. Female or male, it doesn't matter. This is the action behind, becoming that wealthier version of yourself. So what is in the near future? The 8 of Pentacles. And I tell you, it was Libra and Virgo, their readings. I did this whole big Mel TED Talk in the reading around my 8 of Pentacles experience. So I won't bore you with that in here, but check out one of those 2 readings if that aligns with your chart. But the 8 of Pentacles is apprenticeship. It's about quality, craftsmanship, and mastery. It is about you putting your best foot forward when it comes to being all that you can be in your area of study or your area of expertise. So even if you are a seasoned, expert, or if you are just starting out on your journey, I feel like there's growth, there's expansion, there's room for improvement here. There always is. Even when we get to that mastery level, we're still learning, we're still evolving, and then we can branch off, but we never stop, fully healing, growing, or discovering. It's part of the process. It's always changing within us. And I feel like you're waking up to some really quality work, quality craftsmanship, and you are becoming the best in your field, Sagittarius, or you've hit that level, like being the best of the best, but now you may be taking it and doing something new with it. So again, wherever you're at on your journey, you're able to see it from maybe a higher or a new perspective, hence the giraffe. Okay, so this is beautiful. Now, the 8 of Pentacles is also about perfectionism. And some of you may procrastinate at times due to perfectionism, or it can be, managing your time effectively. But what I'm hearing here is progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. So you don't have to have everything, exact. At least you're doing something. At least you're taking a step forward. Now, there could be something you're trying to perfect, but we'll say master, right? There's something here that you are trying to make sure it is in the best possible light before you put it out there. So for example, you're writing a book and you know, are editing it, and maybe you hire an editor and you want to make sure that it doesn't have mistakes, right? You don't want to put out a big mumbled book full of misspelled words and garbage. You know, nobody's going to buy it. It's going to get bad reviews. So I feel like you are putting in the work and making sure something is the best that it possibly can, but you don't want to keep going over and over once it looks good, once you know that there's not, you know, a misspelled word or everything is in its place, but then you're like, well, maybe it's not perfect yet, and then you keep going back in and changing things, and then before you know it, it's the whole telephone game of the original content is not even at all what you were hoping for. So try not to get to that point of perfectionism where it ruins the original piece of authenticity, okay? Because that's what perfectionism can do. You're mastering something here. You're putting in your best efforts, and you are becoming the best at the best of what you do. Pat yourself on the back. If you are taking some sort of course of learning, there could be some new skill sets. This can be you exploring and being open to discovery, right? If you are a chef and you are really good at baking or cooking, but let's say you've never cooked with squid, okay? Let's say you've never cooked with seafood before. Maybe you didn't like seafood, but perhaps you have a whole bunch of people that are coming into your restaurant and they love seafood. You may be getting experimental, and maybe it's time for you to explore something that you don't, you know, you love what you do, but you may be asked to branch off and try something new because it could surprise you. You may realize that it's delicious, and if not, one of the best meals that you've ever made. And I feel like it's important to stay experimental at this time. Try everything once is my motto. I'll always try anything once. And then I can decide, okay, that wasn't for me. I don't love the taste of that, but definitely trying it once, because then you know. So how are you doing? How are you feeling at this time, Sag? Penguin is the 3 of Cups. This is the card of celebration. You're about ready to celebrate some sort of success here. This is soul groups. You could also really be getting focused, okay? If it feels like there has been a bit of distraction, or it feels like you've been focusing on something over here, maybe even leaving out the primary energy. Maybe that book, right? You've been wanting to write the book, but you put that on the back burner for a bit. Maybe you're getting focused and you're bringing that back into your visualization, back into your energy field. And I feel like it's a new burst of excitement. You're like, all right, maybe I had to step away from this for a bit, but can I revisit from a different angle, from a newfound sense of skill or a newfound sense of knowledge that you went looking for in that 8 of Pentacles? There's definitely new people coming in here for you as well. Maybe new tribe, people who share your interest, enjoy the things that you enjoy. This could be a community of, you know, hobbyers or hobbyists. It could be, you know, a community of people who read tarot or astrology, just like our intuitive soul tribe here on the channel. I feel like you yourself are, you know, finding a community that works with your energy, that resonates with your energy. So that is showing up here in the 3 of Cups. Now, what's going on in your environment? We have the Knight of Cups. Someone's having fun. It's about time. You're having fun with what you're doing. There's a renewed sense of action that really fills your cup. This is joy. This is, you know, truth. I feel like you're excited about moving forward in this new energy. Okay, January, you're excited around that Pisces energy, right, of North Node. Your spiritual side, you're activated. You're receiving a lot of divine messages and wisdom. The page of Knight of Cups, excuse me, is also about a proposal. So it feels like there could be an offer. There could be a proposal here. Maybe you're putting something out there, and I feel like you're going to receive some positive feedback. There's positive feedback for a proposal that comes your way. It fills your cup. You're like, this sounds fun. I would like to try that, right? Maybe that proposal is a group of people coming in saying, I want to order some seafood. And you're like, okay, well, I know I have skill. I have skill in the kitchen. It doesn't matter what you throw at me. I'm going to make the best of it. And I just feel like there's a proposal here and you're like, why not? Instead of why, you're saying, why not? I like this. Sag, you're definitely coming out of something. Now, the hope and the fear is the sun. Now, this is a hope that you are going to bring into your reality. I say that because not only do you have windfall at the bottom of the deck, but you also have treasure. So when this shows up as your hope, this is triumphant bliss. It's hard work creates good luck. The fear is pride or ego. The fear, the downside of the sun, yes, there's a downside. What happens when we stay in the sun too long? We get sunburnt. That's not a good feeling. If you've ever been sunburned, it hurts. Every piece of you hurts. And I feel like you don't want to get burnt in some way. All right. You don't want to get burnt. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to, put all your eggs in one basket, hence the eggs in the background. I feel like there is a lot of happiness, a lot of abundance, a lot of confidence as well that's shining through. And this is something you are creating. And right now, your outcome is the Hermit. This is moving in silence while you continue to build. This is ascension. Illumination. What's being illuminated? The sun. The sun is about illumination. So you're getting to a point where you're real close to launching. You're real close to, putting out that book or, getting ready for that big dinner party where you're serving some seafood here or whatever this is for you. Those are just, examples. But I feel whatever this is that you have been building, maybe it's a website, maybe it's your portfolio, your resume. It could be a new skill set. It could be a business. It could be, anything, maybe a new role. It almost feels like a new role is being made specifically for you. Okay, that's interesting. A new role is being made specifically for you, but you're staying humbled. You're staying humbled and you are enlightened. And I feel like you're excited. And the Hermit is introspection. So it's like you have been taking a look at what needs to be looked at. Some subconscious stuff has been brought to your conscious awareness. And now that you're aware of it with the Hierophant, now you're getting down to some big business, right? You could be making some big business moves. Maybe, again, selling of a property, buying of a land, selling of a business, integrating into a new role, going back and getting a PhD. I mean, whatever this is for you, it's going to be different for each and every one of you. Continue building in silence and know when it's your time to illuminate something that you're right on track with where you are meant to be. Beautiful. Oh, this is so nice, especially coming from that rough patch that you were in. I mean, it could be a rough patch financially. Some of you, it was health-wise. For others of you, you had to deal with, again, whatever that weasel was. It kind of weaseled its way into your life, just like the weasel or even the ferret does at times. They can get into anything. They can get into the smallest of small places. And you're like, where did you even come from? How did you get in? And I feel like you had to deal with that for a bit. And that's why you didn't share everything, because you knew that someone wasn't honest, or they wouldn't be happy for you, or they would have tried to sabotage your success. Some of you, this could even be family. It can be friends or people who thought may have supported you, but when it came to push come to shove, it feels like they shoved and pushed. Let's get a message here from the wisdom of the Oracle. What do we have for Sagittarius? Sagittarius. Not for you. All right. Not for you. Card 6. That's that weasel. That's that judgment, something of the past. There's something here that you may have been rejected from, something that was denied to you, or it just wasn't, it's not meant for you anymore. And I feel like that's the truth of the judgment coming in. There's a call to open your heart up to learning a new skill or taking your skills elsewhere. A clear knowing that something was denied. Rejection is God's protection. And the prosperity message for you is this. You can strategize and project and systemize and invest all your time and energy. But sometimes your best laid plans seem to go awry in spite of it all. Keep in mind that no effort is wasted. Fail fast and learn from defeat. Then keep going. You will succeed. Although perhaps not right here, right now. It's almost like the editing piece of the book. You're in the editing stages. There's something you're finalizing, something you're getting ready for. Maybe you've already launched that book and maybe there has been rejection. Maybe you haven't picked up on that, that publishing company yet. Someone who wants to grab you, someone who wants to, work with you. But I see that proposal coming in. So there's definitely some sort of proposal coming in. Don't let the failure or don't let the rejections get the best of you. Don't let them stop you in your tracks. Continue to build in silence. It says, know when to fold your cards. Don't chase after what flees from you. Don't obsess over what eludes you. Don't bang your head against the wall. There is nothing romantic about what is unavailable. No prize given for torturing yourself and nothing to be gained by refusing to see the red flags. Now is the time to walk away from the things that no longer serve you. Things from the past here. Right? Whatever rejections, abandonment, escapism. Remember that 3 of Swords that we've seen at the bottom of the deck? Emotional storms. Now is the time for freedom. Freedom from strife. That's what your 2025 is about. Freedom from strife. It says there are other goals, other love interests or love, passions, other games, other successes waiting for you. The way out of obsessing is radical acceptance and surrender. That's that 7 of Swords as well. Spirit wants only the best for you. This is a sign that you have something much, much better waiting. Trust. All right. So this is also the game of chess, making a move. And it's card 6, which is the Lovers. So there's a choice to be made here. Do I stay caught up in that denial or that loss or that rejection? Do I stop putting out my book? Do I close down my restaurant? Right? I feel like the message here is saying, don't give up. If something was rejected, if something was denied, you are being asked to take your skills, continue moving forward with your skills. Don't be afraid to try something new because the right offering, the right energy, the right connection will collaborate. Continue building in silence. You don't realize how close you are to this treasure. All right. Let's get a few messages from your animal spirit guides. And at this time, Sagittarius, if you can, please close your eyes safely. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice deep inhale. Hold it as long as you can. And exhale through your mouth with a nice big sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky. Perhaps your animal swims deep in the sea. Your animals could be wild, magical, mystical, or even majestic. This could be a pet that you have at home or maybe even by your side. Perhaps a loved pet that's crossed over the rainbow bridge. Or maybe even a creature that's recently crossed your path in the great outdoors or visited through your dream state. There is no right or wrong answer, Sagittarius. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your power animals, whether you have 1 or 5, drop them all in the comment section below, and be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification when the winner is announced. Okay, power animals, comment section. Let's see what is coming up for you. You have a few animals today. So we have the dove. We have the dove. This is all about divine messages and accord. It's motherhood as well. It's that divine feminine. So I feel like there are messages coming in, one that will bring you more peace, okay? And one that feels more nurturing, one that aligns with your heart and soul with that divine feminine. So the dove is showing up here for you. You have the dog. This is service, devotion, and honesty. And this goes hand in hand with that 7 of Swords. So I feel like you're devoting yourself to your purpose, to your path with that Judgment card. All right. This is also about, honesty, getting honest with yourself about what you need to do and whom you need to become, right? And what you need to do to take those steps moving forward. So being loyal to what you love. We have moose. This is boldness. It's engagement. It's commanding attention. And I feel like some of you may have been around maybe a position of power or a position of authority that did command your attention in some way, but I feel like it was to reflect. It was to reflect back parts of yourself that maybe you had lacked within oneself, or it could be something that's triggered you, or it could even be something that has humbled you. So it's engaging in, enlightenment. That's what that sun is all about. And I feel like this is your time to really shine. It's about time here. I see towards the end of the month and into February, I feel like you're making that sun a reality for you. Next, you have the kiwi. Okay, you have the kiwi here, which is about awareness, psychic attunement, and fidelity. So psychic attunement, you're very much in tuned. You are getting more aligned with your own intuition, your own higher calling. That's that spiritual rebirth with the Judgment showing up here. You have the Triceratops. Look at this prehistoric creature, all about setting boundaries, standing proud, and using your sacred voice. It almost feels ancestral here. Some of you had a grandparent or maybe your parent or your grandparent was psychic, or they had some powers, they had some gifts. I feel like there's something that's handed down, or something you could be handing down to your own children or to your clients. It feels like there's a generational wealth here even, or, maybe stopping a pattern and bringing about some new generational wealth for those that come after. Next, you have hippopotamus, stimulation, actualizing goals. And look at that, we have emergence. You are emerging. You are coming out from the water and you're getting a sweet taste of the green. You see that he has all the green coming, from his mouth there, and the green can be abundance, but it's also heart energy. It aligns with the color of the heart chakra. So yes, the green can be the color of money as well, but I feel like you are emerging from a very introspective period, a time of silence, a time of, hermiting, but that was necessary in order to gain some new introspection. But there's ascension and emergence. That's a really big theme coming in for you. And then lastly, you have the mongoose. Self-assertive, genuineness, and candidness. So you have the mongoose. Those are such cute creatures. So there's something here about being assertive, going for what you want, asking for what you need, Sagittarius. But I feel like you're being genuine. You're being comfortable in your own skin, and maybe something that made you uncomfortable. Maybe asking for help was uncomfortable in the past, or, you've dealt with people who maybe they haven't been as candid. I just feel like you are asserting your wants and your needs. You're putting them out there. And I feel like you are I don't want to say demanding, because that has a power or a controlling energy around it, but in a way it is demanding some sort of respect. So I'm not going to take the word back, but I want you to understand that I feel like it's maybe commanding instead of demanding. How about we command some respect here? It feels like you've been disrespected at times. It feels like you have worked on reinventing yourself. Maybe you yourself have put aside your own dreams because of a situation that just, it didn't feel very genuine. You were in that self survival mode, and I feel like you're coming out of that and you're asserting here your sense of power, and I feel like you are commanding respect and attention in some way, but it's a good thing. I feel like it's a good thing here. Last but not least, what does your soul want you to know? What is your soul trying to tell you at this time? Are you getting enough rest to restore your energy and fully show up to your life? You are the asset. This body is your vehicle. Notice how your body is feeling, how much sleep you are getting, and what you can do to keep your body in rest. Today's soul action: take a bath, put on some lavender essential oil, go to bed ridiculously early, or give yourself a timeout today. Notice your body thanking you. Today's mantra: the more I give myself permission to rest, the more I can contribute. So taking care of you is going to be first and foremost the Two of Pentacles, right? That's about being in the flow. It is about self-care, as well as, you tending to the needs of others and being of service, but are you tending to your own needs? That is part of the balance act that we see with the Two of Pentacles starting off in your reading. All right, so getting enough rest. Some of you are focusing on your sleep cycles, your health, maybe getting back to some new routines, asserting yourself, feeling more powerful, and really showing up, right? There's something about you showing up and emerging from a period that may have been a little bit heavy or uncertain, or even emotionally dissatisfying at times. Freedom from strife is the key theme for you. So whatever strife you have endured, I feel like it's important to show up, right? It's important to restore, because you are about to emerge. And I feel like this is one of the biggest comebacks. Don't let any of the setbacks keep you small or keep you stuck in that quicksand, because you don't want to go under quick. You want to rise up, and that's what that sun is allowing you to do. That is what I have for you, Sagittarius. If this was helpful, if it resonated, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And don't forget to drop your power animals in the comment section below. And again, tune in on the 1st of the month to find out who the winner is for the free giveaway. Thank you so much for tuning in, Sag. Lots of love.